the last tip that I want to give to people is enjoy the journey. Like, don't go into it with this sense of like, this is going to be terrible, tough, it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to go through a lot of, experiences. But go into it knowing that it can be called, it can be a sense of adventure. It can be, a sense of openness. It can be you appreciating and learning and growing, because it really does. Like, going on a journey like this, if you're really serious about it, pushes you to be a better person.
Welcome to the Queer Quest podcast, your beacon of light and sprinkle of glitter in the queer community. I'm your host, Cristiano Green, CEO and founder of Queer Quest and a transformation coach for queer individuals. And together, we're embarking on a journey of transformation. Each week, we bring you a new training topic or connecting with visionary queer leaders in healing and coaching, diving deep into conversations that inspire growth, celebrate diversity, and empower you to live authentically. So wherever you are, settle in and let's get ready to unlock the vibrant potential within. This is where your quest begins.
Hello, all you fabulous souls, and welcome to the Queer Quest podcast. I'm your friend Cristiano, and today we're talking about navigating the queer dating landscape in 2025. Now, I know from many of you who reach out to me that you're part of the queer community, of course, and you are probably feeling maybe like you're looking for something more. Maybe you're looking for a relationship. You're looking to make, deeper connections. Maybe you want to, get out there and, recover from a breakup. Whatever it is, in 2025, it can be tricky. I know that because so many people ask me questions around dating, relationships, and of course, throughout my journey as a coach, I've helped so many of my clients to get into happy and successful, loving relationships. So I really thought today I was going to talk about some of the key tips that I want to share with you that I think will be important for you to be thinking about and maybe for you to start implementing as you move forward in the dating world in 2025. So let's jump into number one. This is probably the most important of them all. And sometimes it's also the one that people struggle with the most. And for people in our community, it's also something that's really important in our, entire life. And this is embracing your authenticity. Now, you want to be able to present yourself genuinely. Now, this means really showing up as who you are authentically, because as you show up as who you are authentically, you're going to be able to see the true, deeper connections that you can have with other people who are also showing up authentically. Because I'm sure it's very true that what you're looking for is a deep connection. You're looking for deep love. You're looking for people who will see you for who you are and that you can just be yourself unapologetically, right? Now, of course, when I say unapologetically, I don't mean you're a crazy person. But what I mean is like, you don't need to be sorry for who you are. You can show up in the world and other people can see you and see you clearly and love you for who you are. Now, when we look at it across the whole, metaverse of dating and whatnot, you want to be able to know what you're looking for. So embracing authenticity is like, who am I? What do I want? And then that's the part where we need to go and go, how do I go out and get that as well? So number one, really embrace who you are authentically. If that's a struggle for you right now and you don't know how to do that, you don't know who you are fully, or you don't know how to show up as who you are, I think you should seek some support. Maybe that is from, a friend. Maybe that is by asking other people what they see within you, so that maybe you can start to counteract that as well. Or maybe it's going even deeper and getting some support and going on a journey of self-discovery, maybe some personal development. Things like Queer Quest are very vital to help you and able to really step into your authenticity. So let's move on to number two, because of course, if you can really embrace your authenticity, you've done 95% of the job there. Okay. Number two is communicate openly. What you want to be able to learn how to do if you're not very, already skilled at doing it, because communication is a skill, right? It's not something that we were born with. We were taught what we were taught, and sometimes we live our life that way. But really, if we want to be able to go into dating world in 2025, then you've got to establish some honest dialogue from the very beginning. Open communication is a fundamental aspect in building trust and understanding. And so again, if you want to have a fulfilling relationship, you want to get out there and date and start to connect with people, you need to learn how to openly communicate how you feel, what you want, what you're looking for, and also how you can ask and receive that from other people as well. Because sometimes, people are waiting for us to open the door in order for us to have the conversations that need to be had. Some people are really scared to have some honest conversations. I know I still struggle with it at times, and I have to continue to come back to the skills that I have been honing for many, many years as a leader, as a coach, and as someone who supports other people in the queer community. So going back and really getting to the point where you understand how you can be open and honest is a skill set. And again, it's not something that every single person knows how to do. And if you are someone who can learn how to openly communicate, you would just move yourself up in the dating hierarchy by tenfold, because that is the number one thing that people struggle with when it comes to dating and relationships, and that's the open communication. Now, of course, if you're someone who communicates openly and you start to see that you're dating someone who doesn't, then that's up to you to really go, hey, is this going to be a deal breaker? Because what you start with a small problem early on, if they don't get resolved, they continue to a huge issue. And so fundamentally, if someone isn't a great communicator and you can be to them, you notice that is a red flag to me. And I think for you guys, you shouldn't be putting all your eggs into baskets where you see red flags. You should be becoming aware of them and then start to ask yourself, is this something that's important to me? So that is tip number 2. Now that's what we lead into, the third tip, which is setting clear boundaries. Again, if you are learning how to communicate openly and you understand yourself authentically, you will know what your boundaries are. And of course, being able to communicate it openly means you're going to be able to communicate them on your journey. So this is about defining and expressing your personal boundaries early on, so that you ensure mutual respect and comfort in the dating world. Because again, if you are authentically showing up as who you are, you're learning how to communicate openly and honestly, and you have the boundaries in place for yourself, and going into the dating world, it should be a little bit less fearful, because you know exactly who you are, you know how to communicate what you're looking for and communicate effectively, and you're also aware of what is going to cross the line. Now, what would be some boundaries that people might have early on? It might be that until I really feel comfortable, I'm not going to have sex with this person. Or it could be that I'm only going to meet up in public places, and I'm going to set a time limit so that, I don't get stuck somewhere and feeling uncomfortable and I don't know how to get out of it, right? Things like that would be good for it. Or it could be simple as, if someone, makes me feel a certain kind of way, that's a deal breaker for them. So being able to set clear boundaries, and then of course, express those to people that you are going on those dates with, because that's going to be super, super important as you start to chat to people. Because in 2025, more people, and I'm talking about a lot more people, we're talking about in the high 70% of people in the queer community actually meet their same-sex partner or queer partners on online dating applications. Now, we know there are so many different online dating applications, and we've got so many that have been, curated and created for people in the queer community. So tip number 4 is making sure that you find the right dating platform for you. So utilize inclusive dating platforms. Are these platforms created and designed for queer people, and also how the kind of people that you feel are, your kind of people that you want to date? Now, we know that some of the online dating apps, and I say some of them loosely, but like that, because some of them are more hookup apps, right? Some of them are there where you know that people are going there, they're looking for a specific thing. Of course, there are going to be people who would go on those things, maybe they'll meet out for that thing, and then they will end, maybe going into a relationship. So I'm not saying that those things don't happen, but I think predominantly there are apps that are around sex and there are apps that are around dating. So knowing what you want, going into that, is important, it is vital, because you want to be able to be looking in the right areas. If you're someone who's going to be online dating, which like I said, over high 70% of people in the queer community find it through online dating platforms, then it's important for you to find the right app. And again, this could just be doing some research. This could be asking people. This could be just, putting it out there. It's important. If you're wanting to go dating in 2025 and you haven't done the research to find the right app for you, then sometimes you're going in blind. And if you want to hope that maybe this one's going to work or that one and you're going on everything, then yeah, maybe that might work for you. But sometimes it's about just narrowing it down and finding the right kind of pool of people that you are attracted to, that you're trying to pull in. Because again, there is nothing wrong with any of the apps at all. I think they're all, have fantastic resources and criterias and their own flair of what they attract. But it's about you knowing what you want. And like I said, finding the right that is going to be great and beneficial to you.
Are you ready to embark on a journey of transformation that's uniquely yours? Welcome to QueerQuest, the world's first and best personal development platform created by and for the queer community. Imagine a space where your authenticity isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. A place where you can grow, learn, and thrive alongside a vibrant community that understands you. At QueerQuest, we're more than just a platform. We're a family. Connect with like-minded individuals, share your stories, and empower each other to reach new heights. Our tailored courses are designed to address the unique experiences of the queer community, from self-love and confidence building to career advancement and beyond. We've got you covered. It's time to step into your power and transform your journey. Join us today at courses.queerquest.vip, see what we're all about, and sign up to begin your quest.
Next one is balancing online and offline interactions. Now, of course, these apps online, they're prevalent to getting to know people. And of course, what you're really looking for, I'm assuming most people are looking for, because not everyone, is looking to take the offline, the offline, meaning the you being online on the apps, you want to take it offline. You want to get to a point where you can chat to someone that you've connected with, maybe multiple people, and you narrow it down, and then you just about feeling, this is going well. Maybe we've had a call or two, and you want to take it offline so that you can meet them face to face and really see what is the real in real life connection that you have as well. So really figuring out what are some real life activities that can lead to some of those organic connections as well. And of course, if you're someone who wants to get out there and be part of the community more, because you want to get to know people in real life instead of in the online world, what are things in your area that are queer related, that work towards what you want and what you're looking for out of dating and relationships as well? Because we know that there are, curated queer spaces in most major cities, but of course not everyone lives in a major city. Is there anything in your area that is available that you might be able to also go and connect with other people in the area to see, again, if you can meet people in real life as well? Because again, as we said, high 70% of people meet their partners online, but there's a whole 20% that don't. If you're one of those people who doesn't love the online space, but you don't feel like it really gives you the best possible way to present yourself and show yourself and also see other people, then find what works for you, because I don't want to just have a one-stop shop of how you're going to find, you know, the love of your life, your next relationship. Because again, not everything is permanent, right? It could be your next relationship could be a pivotal for you and your growth. And it might be 6 months, it might be 2 years, it might be 5 years, or it could again be for the rest of your life. It really depends on you, the other person, where you're going, and are you growing together, of course, as well. So that is the tip number 5, really being able to balance online and offline interactions. 6, this one is very, very, very important. This is prioritizing your safety. Now, again, a lot of people in 2025 go off and meet people at the drop of a hat, right? And we know that there are some people in our community who have had some tragic situations out there where maybe they have been attacked, maybe they have been sexually assaulted, maybe something awful has happened and it's a traumatic experience. So putting your safety at the forefront is important. So if you're out there and you're meeting someone for the first time, maybe share that location with a trusted friend or a family member so that you feel safe and knowing where you're going as well. Maybe it's doing that by saying I'm going to be at the Abbey on Wednesday nights at 6:00. Or it could be as smart as I'm going to share my location with a friend so they know exactly where I am going as well. Of course, it's important. You don't know specifically in 2025, catfishing is real. We know it's been going for 20, 30 odd years. We want to make sure that if you're meeting up with someone, you do it in a safe public place for your first initial date, or that you share your location. Because again, you might be going to meet up for a hookup and hoping it eventuates into something. Again, that means you're obviously probably going to be going to someone's house or they're coming to yours. So making sure that you really prioritize your safety, you really trust the person that's coming there as much as you possibly can for not knowing them in real life. Because again, your safety is the most important thing. The next one is be patient. Building meaningful relationships, they take time. So stop really hoping and maybe avoid rushing the process and allow those connections to develop naturally. You want to get to know the person. You don't want to jump from the first date to moving in with them. And I know so many people who've come to me who've done something like that. And 98% of the time, it doesn't work out because you jump into something and then it's all about the love bombing and all this stuff, and you get caught up in that initial feeling, but you actually don't necessarily have the deeper stuff that is growing and the deeper connection that's forming. It might be more lust than love. And again, there's not the meaning behind it. So if you want a really, truly meaningful relationship, it takes time. Don't rush it. You don't need to rush it. What are you rushing for? You're getting to know people and it's going well. Go from step 2 to step 10, Take each step as they come and enjoy the process as well. Next one is, I want you to challenge stereotypes. So what does that mean? I want you to avoid conforming to the heteronormative cisgender dating norms. Instead, define what dating means to you within the queer context. What does that mean? That means that if I'm dating someone of the same sex or same gender or opposite genders, or, not opposite genders, but, of the different gender, or I'm polyamorous or whatever it is, I'm open to developing different things, you should be challenging them. Instead of just falling into like, this is the way that it is, or this is the way that other people in my life are doing it, you don't have to follow everyone else's suit. You've already gone against the grain by coming out as who you truly are. And living authentically means you get to challenge stereotypes. So stop following heteronormative dating norms. You get to create the rules that work for you and, of course, work for the partner that you are engaging with as well. To really start to challenge those stereotypes. If you're someone who's struggling, to look outside the box. If maybe you're struggling because you are following the heteronormative cisgender dating norms and it hasn't been working for you, start challenging those stereotypes to see what is most authentic to you. This is going deeper into your own journey as well. Next one, manage your expectations. Enter the dating scene without any preconceived notions. Queer dating can be unpredictable. And, I want you to stay open to various outcomes. When we look at, exploring non-traditional relationships, there are so many different kinds that people in our queer community love. This could be open relationships. It could be polyamorous. It could be thruples. It could be quadruples, There are so many different kinds there that, of course, if you're someone who is going through that, and when we talk about managing expectations, go in without the judgment, but also allow yourself to stay open to various outcomes. It doesn't mean it's the right one for you, but to stay open and say, does this feel right for me? Or is the reason why it's not because I have had a stereotype that I have been trying to stick towards? Open yourself up. Who knows what will come when you stay open to looking towards love as well. And of course, like I said just before we were touching on it, really consider those typical non-monogamy or polyamory or, couples. Just make sure that if you're someone who's looking into that feels right for what you're looking for in your life, that you ensure all parties communicate openly and there's consent around it as well, because you don't want to be jumping into something when this person's got something over here that you are well aware they don't know about. It's just going to make it more messy for you. Like, don't get caught up in the mess. Be aware that if you are, like I said, someone who is, exploring those non-traditional relationships, you do it with a clean slate, a clean heart, knowing that you're doing the right thing for you and you're not jumping into something that is going to cause more mess or drama for you, because you don't want that. You don't want that. I believe you don't want that. Maybe some people do. I don't know. But I personally don't believe that you want that for yourself. Excuse me. You should be educating yourself on your sexual health. You want to be staying informed about, the safe sex practices and engage in regular health checkups, especially if you're someone who is, more sexually open. Maybe you are dating people and a way of your dating is for sex. I'm assuming that in 2025, most people are aware of the things that are going to keep you safe and, of course, keep other people safe as well, because that's important to, your relationship is a big part of it is for a lot of people is the sex side of it. So making sure that you are safe, that you are keeping yourself, regularly aware of what's going on. And that, again, you keep informed with your partners. Maybe you have these conversations prior about what you do, because some people don't. They get up and they go, oh, I'm not on this, or I'm not on that, or I've got this, or I've got that. You need to have that aware so that you can go into the situation and it be a good experience for everyone as well. Now, of course, if you're someone who's new to dating in the queer world, maybe you are younger, maybe you are someone who's come out later in life, maybe you've been open for a while and you've just been celibate, or for whatever reason you haven't done that as well. Or maybe have you put yourself out there because maybe you've had a difficult breakup and it's been a long time. But if you're new or someone who hasn't been into a while, consider getting some support. Consider seeking guidance from, queer transformation coaches. Consider joining platforms like QueerQuest so that you could go on a journey and also be a part of a community of other people who are also going on that journey with dating and love and all the other areas of life as well. So going and looking for support, personal development, coaching, whatever it is, it's going to make you feel comfortable and confident going into the dating world this year. Now, I should be able to have this one without, this one should be clear, but you should be really respectful, of other people's identities. Acknowledge and respect that we are a diverse community and there's diverse amounts of identities within the queer community. So if you're someone who really wants to stick within the bounds of what's right for you, be clear on that. Make sure that find out about this person. Like, what part of the community do they identify with? Is this the kind that maybe suits you? Or are you open to exploring all identities, But either way, for other journeys, be respectful and kind. There should be none of this, no fats, no femmes, no Asians, no trans, like all of that stuff. Like we left that back long time ago. So if you're someone out there, you should be aware to be respectful of other people's identities and just like don't talk about what you don't want, talk about what you do want. Like that's so more important in 2025 than ever. Like focus on what you want instead of all the stuff you don't want. Like of course, you know what you don't want because you do know what you want. It's easy to go for that as well. Now, of course, like when we look at some of the numbers, ghosting, like 2/3 of people who go out dating have experienced ghosting. So if you're someone who's listening to this, avoid ghosting people. It's really like it can cause a lot of deep trauma for people, especially if you don't know what's happened and someone's ghosted you and the whole situation, like you don't know why they ghosted you. You create stuff within your own mind. You create the stories, and that creates trauma for people as well. So please practice respectful communication, open communication by providing closure to someone if you're not interested, rather than just disappearing without any explanation. Like it affects people's mental health. And I think in these days, almost everyone's probably experienced it, 2/3 of people have. So like if you're one of those lucky ones that hasn't, maybe you're one of the ones that has done it. I don't know, because I believe that most people have done something on each side as well. So, you know, please just avoid ghosting. We're in 2025. Like it's not right. I don't like it. I know a lot of people hate it, and it can cause some deeper trauma. So yeah, if it's you, let's do that. Next one is something that I love to focus on as well, personal growth. Engage in self-discovery and personal development to bring your best self into any new relationship or any relationship that you have. If you're focusing on bettering yourself and you're going to be going into dating in 2025, you again shoot up the ladder of like what people are looking for. If someone's working on themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like career-wise, finances, all of that stuff, you're doing the deeper work, you become so much more attractive. You become so much more higher rated property. And I've said that you're not a piece of property, but you know what I mean? You're like, people want more of that when people really lead forward. I know when I did the work back, I went from someone who was like really struggling and hating dating and really like was a mess. She like, boom. I was like I said, top property. Like I found like people, like so many people, but really wanting to get to know me because I was in a better place and I had that different aura, different energy, higher confidence. Those things are more attractive as well. And of course, really, the last tip that I want to give to people is enjoy the journey. Like, don't go into it with this sense of like, this is going to be terrible, tough, it's going to be hard, I'm going to have to go through a lot of, experiences. But go into it knowing that it can be a sense of adventure. It can be, a sense of openness. It can be you appreciating and learning and growing, because it really does. Like going on a journey like this, if you're really serious about it, pushes you to be a better person. And if you're someone who really wants that support, consider places like QueerQuest. Again, QueerQuest Pro, we have a platform where, it goes for a whole 12 months. And we focus on every single aspect of your life, including dating, including, personal growth, including you seeing and figuring out what it is that you truly want out of dating. If it's something that you think is important, I'm going to link it below for you to take a look at, and you can see it's the right thing for you. But I believe that every single person who's going through QueerQuest Pro at the moment is having huge and heightened sense of personal growth. And that is leading them to putting this out there. For people in the program who haven't been dating for many years, who pulled themselves out of it for many different reasons, but are now on a journey of getting themselves prepared to go back out there and really do that. So if this is what you want in 2025, consider finding support, whether that's QueerQuest or not. I really want you to get the best out of it. And I hope some of these tips have been super helpful. If they have and you find them to be helpful, comment below which one was the most important. Like this, share it with someone who you think maybe is someone in the community that is wanting to find love but struggling with it. Share this with them, because maybe these tips are going to be the thing that they need to do. And of course, if you're listening to this on the right platform, we would love your review. All of this stuff does amazing things to boost the algorithm. It sends this out to the right people. And I would really appreciate you doing that, not just for me, but for the person out there who really may need to hear this in 2025 so that they too can get out there and find love. Because I believe that everyone in this life, especially in our community, deserves love. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Again, if you want to reach out to me, share with me any questions you have or edit your own stories, I'm available on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, of course, YouTube, all the podcast platforms. Comment, share, send me what you need to, and I'll get back to everyone because I always do. Anyway, always remember that you've got this and I've got you. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And until then, always remember that you've got this and I've got you. Bye for now.